And we are live. Thank you for joining us on OreAni 2015 End of Winter Talk. It's just a small little talk with Nick and I today. Everyone else could be here with us.
No. See, the true reason is I missed out completely on the last session, so I have this one all to myself.
Yes, that's actually absolutely true. So there's no need for introductions here. It's just Tank and Nick.
Yep.
Go ahead and say hello. So I know you're all upset with me using Yampasu as the whole catchphrase. So the only catchphrase I can think from last year that stuck with me is "Let's battle." Battle.
Oh, the new one's going to be totally poi. I'm pushing for that one over anything else. You don't like the poi?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Since we have the lack of crew, Nick and I decided to cover some titles that typically aren't watched by the other members. Mostly the ecchi titles. So we'll be going over those. And let's see here. I think the first thing we kind of want to talk about is, since we're starting the whole ecchi talk, is this famous title. Bum, ba-da-dum, keep out. The Shin Mao, the sister testament thingy, whatever you want to call it. What is it? Shin Mai Mao no Testament?
Sure. We'll go with that.
Oh my gosh. This show is so censored. It was crazy. And it's actually kind of interesting how the censorship transformed later on into the episodes. So, as you can see right now, I'm using these little keep out banners that they had throughout the show near the end. They also would use just those character motifs to block out and censor certain things. But that's actually not kind of how it started. Let's go ahead and go over to my little presentation window here.
Presentation window.
Yeah, so where we got the whole, keep out, I got it from this little thing here. We can show you here how it's showing the censorship of what's going on. This image does not explain what the show's about, but...
Yes, it does. What do you mean it doesn't explain what the show's about? It absolutely explains what the show's about. No, aside from the combat, but...
This is just a little bit of it. And like I said, it kind of transformed into this little banners or pictographs covering certain parts. But actually, when it started, it was nothing but these white blobs, black light, shiny
black
things,
light.
or even...
You mean shadows?
It's black light. Shadows don't cover in that.
Well, black light usually makes things glow. I'm just saying. But anyway, yeah,
But
that's actually a point that I wonder about this series. A lot of times they try to sell the Blu-rays by censoring the TV show and then maybe uncensoring it. But I'm really wondering about this one. I'm kind of like 50-50 on the fence of if that's just a permanent part of the show, they're never going to de-censor it, or if the Blu-ray will really be de-censored. I mean, I don't really care for the show that much. It's just as heavily censored as it was, I was really wondering, like, is that going to go away, or is this going to be a forever censored show? It's probably going to go away.
I think it's going to go away, but in the Blu-rays at least. Because I think that's why they censored it so much,
Yeah, that's usually the angle, but... That is usually the angle, but since it was so weird this time.
Seeing the content, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's happening. But of course, it's all censored, so it's your imagination playing out this whole scenario. And you're like, what's the Blu-ray gonna be?
No, I'm not thinking when's the Blu-ray gonna be here. I'm just trying to think, like, are they really gonna, be doing this? Like, is this gonna be uh, I don't know.
I know what you're saying, but this image here kind of to give a call out to the battle element. There were a few battle scenes here and there, and of course they were very interesting, I would say. But of course, with the battles of the girls, they were very sexualized still. But from what I can remember, I don't think there's too many clothes being ripped off in this show during battles.
Nah.
It was mostly off battles where the clothing were off.
Yes, when they have to power up to fight the next big bad guy who comes along.
Yeah, but
I
to
gotta
be a
say,
little
like,
more tame here.
the most interesting like character to come out of this for me is that little succubus right there. Holy crap, she is like her lines are sometimes gold.
Maya?
Like, yeah.
Oh man, but she's dirty as everything too.
I know, but I mean, she is a succubus, so you gotta get that going. I
Yeah.
mean, once you understand where she's coming from, it's like I just found myself enjoying her lines because a lot of characters typically don't get that point of view.
Whew. This show is special though. But like I said, it gets worse and worse. And I've read a little bit of the manga. I don't think the manga is really that far as the show is, or it's gone way beyond that. But the manga had far more content on the edginess. And with how it grew in the series, I'm wondering how bad that manga is going to get now as it progresses. If only Mike were here to talk about it. He knows what I'm saying. But they definitely left it open for a second season. Now, if I remember correctly from our first initial hangout, or the beginning, there was based on a light novel, and the content goes way further than what we've seen here. So there's definitely material for a new or further series. And from what I've been seeing from a lot of the other shows ending, a lot of shows are definitely going to be coming up with a lot of new second seasons coming up. But let's see here. Do you have anything else you want to say about this show?
No, I enjoyed the lines of the succubus, and I don't think I was too enticed by the opening or closing eventually. So
I think I don't remember the ending, but the opening I've heard more of, saw a little bit more of.
I just remember the one scene from the opening when you see like the silhouettes of all the characters, or like the Barbie doll physics character builds, I should say.
Yeah.
I was like, that is a statement.
Yeah, this show is special. I guess then, shall we move on?
Sure.
Let's go from one extreme to the supposedly less extreme. Dog days.
I
Let's talk
thought you
about
were
dog
going there.
Because this show, I swear, when the first episode came out, the first little tidbit you got to see, this was like one of the purest shows I thought. Yeah. And I mentioned this at the beginning, I'm like, as the seasons go on, it gets etchier and etchier and etchier.
I first noticed in like the second season with the broomstick transformation scene.
Yeah, I mean that was passable if you've seen any Magical Girl show.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Like the second season really kind of picked it up with like the after fight paper clothing, and this season really picked that up too. That it almost became obligatory.
So here,
Did
let
in
me
fact
show
become
this.
obligatory.
So of course they fight demons that have taken over some of their areas,
Oh,
and here's just some scenes that I took a picture of. Just
just give me a second here because that's actually what I wanted to differentiate with Dog Days, and was actually fairly impressed by it. With the first and second season, we pretty much see the kingdoms holding a warlike battle, which it was more like a war game. They called it war, but it was pretty much for publicity and whatnot. And this season really kind of broke away from that. We didn't really have the whole on running war game thing, and the characters at the end did actually kind of say the same thing. We're going to have to do those games next time. Stuff just came up this time around. It was kind of like a vacation or whatever. And personally, in this season, despite how ecchi it was, I actually felt that a lot of the fight scenes were vastly improved. Like, when characters go one on one, instead of just launching special moves at a horde of enemies and watching them all go poof or go up in a poof of smoke, the battle scenes are actually really well done from what I'm used to from Dog Days.
I get what you're saying, because like you said in the earlier, especially during the war games, they all would go poof and turn into these little animals, and they actually did it a few times when they were fighting the demons, right?
hmm Like
And
that was still a concept, but I actually kind of appreciated how the third season kind of changed it up a lot, and then like dropped a hint that we'll do the same old, maybe in a fourth season. Who knows?
yeah, but still, I mean, it was still really edgy, and you can, and I don't know if that's how I wanted Dog Days. I mean, it was a show that I thought would be fun to watch and just continue on as a little action packed with the joking with a
Kind of
little
like
bit of etchiness, but
the animal moiness.
yeah, but I think it just went too far, and it was getting harder to watch. But I kind of liked how they changed it at the end because it wasn't as bad near the end of the series.
hmm
They kind of toned it down, so and it was that little arc there was more enjoyable than what happened previously. But I kind of felt that in the middle of this whole Dog Days was kind of filler, boring stuff. Just them, hey, we're back. Hey, this is what's going on. Since they didn't really get to do that at the beginning,
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't
and then
really
of course,
like the whole beginning sequence. Actually, I was kind of wondering what happened in the first few episodes, and I was thinking. Uh, I misread where it was going, like just a gut feeling, so to speak, not literally like I read somewhere. But I almost thought I wouldn't like this new season of Dog Days at all, based on the first few episodes. So um, just kind of stick with it. It becomes the same old Dog Days after like episode 3 or 4.
I would say after 4,
Hmm.
uh, it gets back to its normal roots, and it's pretty fun. But there's not much else to say about Dog Days. I don't think I've seen the last episode.
Aw,
So,
not the
did you?
resolution. Yes, I have.
Oh yeah, you said something about them going. Okay. I'll have to check that out and see how this ends. Does it look like they still left it open for more?
Oh yeah, like I was saying, they were basically like talking about what they do next time they came back. So, um, Dog Days was kind of surprising because I never really expected it to necessarily get like a season 3. So, and 4 seems like greenlit by the dialogue of the last bit. I don't remember if they had an announcement at the end. A lot of times I don't necessarily pay as much attention when the credits start rolling, but that's actually something I was also going to say is the music on this one, since I really didn't get to say it in the beginning of the hangout discussion this year. But the opening song I actually kind of liked a little bit, and, not on its own, but in the TV size, it was actually a pretty decent song for the show. And the ending, I actually do kind of like how like the animated chibi character like sprites are running like across still silhouette or not silhouettes, but just still images of the other characters. Actually, it wasn't all that creative, but I did find myself kind of going, it seems fun.
I know what you're saying. That's actually this series is the only one I saw the ending all the way to the end every single time because of those little things. And it's not like it was super entertaining, but as you watch them going through, it's kind of just fun to follow them along. And oh, he's going that route. Oh, I mean, it's the same route every single time, but
Yeah, it
it's
is.
kind of interesting their facial reactions as they're falling and stuff.
Actually, I
You
think
might
the only
notice
one
something
that's
different.
animated is the Demon Lord guy, because I think he has a facial animation. The other two, I think, are like stale.
No, they change every once in a while, but it was pretty fun. But yeah, dog days. Hopefully, you turn around and become something good.
Tank's gonna get into the doghouse for watching it, man.
Let's go to the next one. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum, next title. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. What's it gonna be? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Uh, Second Sky No World Break. So I see a trend coming along with these ecchi shows. They're all like battle shows. Fighting, Shinmao fighting demons, demons again. And in this show, what are they fighting?
Oh God, what did they call those
Metaphysical, right?
yeah, the metaphysical,
Kind of like the
aka
demon-esque.
demons.
A lot of different fighting. And as I've mentioned before in the first beginning thing, this guy, Monoha, whatever his name was,
Mhm.
I swear it seemed like every single episode, I remember something. And he's able to kick ass again. Every single
Yeah,
episode.
like that's something I noticed about the show too. He kind of shows up day one, not really seeming like he's all into it. Like he's your average run of the mill student who doesn't seem too exceptional. But like by episode probably four, it's like he just has that air of I know what I'm doing now, and I'm unstoppable.
So, let me see here. What do I have here for Mahotsukai? Now, this one was actually the calmer of the etchiness in the shows, I would say.
Unless you're like following the dialogue of that like the under leader of their group
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
because she man, holy crap.
And the way she's always grabbing him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I swear at some points I felt it. I was like, oh, don't do that.
uh, I,
Oh,
I can't say I felt it, but that's kind of funny.
man. Oh, man. I mean, just remembering it. That was like, it happened a lot in that one episode at the beach, right?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it
Oh my
didn't
gosh.
necessarily get too revealing. The show didn't, but the certain personality of a certain character kind of makes the edginess alone, I'd say.
Well, this did have the clothing ripping and I
Hmm.
guess you would say paper clothing during the battles. So
Hmm.
unlike the other ones, or actually nowadays that a lot too, I would say during certain demon fights, the clothing would come off with the like what was acid or something. It didn't happen too much, but in this one, as they were fighting some of the metaphysicals or fighting each other, some of their clothing would tear. But of course, somehow the clothing sticks to their body in such a way that you can't see anything. So it wasn't too bad. But the thing that made me watch this the most was the little mistakes they had in the show. I mean, I swore in one episode, I think it wasn't even that beach episode, or maybe the or episode after, the leader was talking, but someone else's mouth was moving, kind of like what happened in Real Wars. They had a moment like that, and then also some of the animation just looked so weird. Like in this picture I'm showing here, where the little girl is running forward. If you look at her feet where her shadow is, it's like behind the shadow of the girl standing there, even though she's running in front of her. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look right, oh, gotta draw here, right there. You won't notice it too much, but another scene which kind of drove me crazy forever when I saw it, and I had to watch it again just to make sure, is this scene here where she's running in front of the desk to go sit by him or introduce him. But like right there where her leg is and that couch.
So somebody
The
didn't
whole
really like
animation
draw her on
sequence.
too well. Whoever like
Some of the
supervised her just they went, yep, it's gold. Next.
some scenes were so awkward, and as you do frame by frame, you could see why because of these little mess ups. But that was
Yeah.
one thing I actually had fun with the show, watching and seeing those little mistakes. That's why I love those little things. Even though it's not enjoyable, but just catching them, like, "Hoo, I see what you guys did there."
Or didn't do there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I actually was kind of there are some battles that I can kind of enjoy and others that I was kind of not necessarily caring for. There was actually one battle in particular between one of like the harem elements of our main protagonist here and like an assassin type character, and I thought that battle scene was really well done, and then I didn't like see it for any other fight sequence ever. Just like not the main protagonist and her like we crazy just like soup up this battle scene, make it the best thing ever, and it doesn't have like any cast in it. Well, I mean subcast, but not main protagonist.
Their spell casting kind of confused me after a while because they would say write it, and then they would start talking, and then in the middle of the writing they would start saying some other things. I'm like, aren't you supposed to be chanting the spell too? That's what they've been doing all throughout the series.
Yeah, but I don't know exactly how that works because you always hear him like doing that echo chanting in the background thing. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's
It's an
really
element
weird.
of the suit. It produces sound and talks for you. Heck if I know.
Another thing I kind of want to show in this show is kind of going back on the whole "you're not doing your job right." I saw a lot of people talking about this on Google Plus, or maybe not a lot, just a few people. But the whole layering with her eye here,
Mm.
you wouldn't believe how many people hated that. Like, what are they doing? Why do they have her eye above her hair like that? And in certain animes, it's typical for hair to be seen, but when it's covering the eye that much, haven't seen it shown through that much myself. So I kind of saw a few people going around and actually editing it and then redrawing it so that her eye would be covered. I have to admit, a lot of those scenes where they did do that, it looks better without the eye showing. And I kind of wish they would do that through the whole series, but all the characters, the eyes are always over the hair most of the time.
In like glass frames and whatnot.
Hmm. But I would say, even though he got super overpowered, Monoha, it was still kind of fun and enjoyable to see like what kind of OP movies he going to learn this week.
I actually liked how he carried himself, if anything. Like I liked his general attitude of acquiring power and not necessarily flaunting it unless stuff went down. So I enjoyed like the character perspective more so than I did how is he going to become more powerful.
So, anything else about the show that stood out to you? Would you say?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, let's go to the next show, which we have Absolute Duo. Now, I don't really have any screenshots for this, but I did collect the end cards, so we can check them out. Of course, another fighting anime. The only difference is there's no demons.
No, no, there's not. Just the demons living in your head as you put on your suit, Iron Man suit of armor. I mean, no, never mind.
Just people going crazy for power. Gotta have the power. I'm sorry. Let's see here. This actually, I thought it was pretty interesting, but it again had a lot of off the battle etchiness to it. The itchiness wasn't too much in the fighting; it was more off screen, especially amongst the duo partners because I think they were like the only duo in their grade that was a male and a female cohabiting with each other. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they
So
are
of
the
course, yeah. And then of course, you had a lot of misunderstandings. You know, like what are some typical misunderstandings? Like she falls and he grabs her. And then they're like, what happened? And he's like, oh, he was so gentle with me last night. And they all get upset at him and try to beat him up. Of course, it's a big
or just get
misunderstanding.
upset with them, and then I think most of everything happened in their room, like because she would always she reminded me of the character from Sakura So, if you remember her at all.
Yeah. What's her name? Shiro? Mashiro?
Yeah, well, no, maybe, because I'm just thinking of Mashiro from God, what is that show? Engaged to the Unidentified. That's the only Mashiro that comes into mind.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She did have that kind of feeling, but she was more active, I guess.
Yeah, Mashiro Shina.
Yeah, I knew it was Mashiro. Yeah, don't question me. But as you can see from some of these end cards, how etchy it was. That's basically all she wore throughout the show, because most of it took place in her room.
Yeah. They didn't exactly draw it that way, but that was pretty much her attire for any kind of nighttime festivity. But yeah, this show, the combat wasn't all that great, and I didn't really much care for too much of it, but I think the thing that just made the whole episode kind of worth it is what happens to one character near like the end of it, her yandere moment, if you would call it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that whole sequence, and like that's the most enjoyment I got out of this thing. So it's like, well, that was cool, but was it worth a whole season? Maybe not, but at least something happened that I could.
It did kind of, I would say, it did upset me a little how they resolved it. I would have had it done a different way, but it wasn't too bad. A lot of pictures of that girl. What's her name again? Julia?
Julia, yes, Julia. And she would always go, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have the 10th episode card. No.
You fail. That was the best
The
one.
black, the black bunny right there. I love her voice actress. She's the one that plays. Um, what do you call her?
I
No Game,
don't.
No Life. No Game, No Life. The girl with the wings.
Oh, Jeebity.
Ghibli. Yeah. She also played the voice of C cubed. Cursed. Whatever you want to call
I didn't.
that.
I didn't. I like caught the first few episodes of that, and kind of always meant to watch the rest of it, but then never did. But yeah, the teacher's perspective, I did actually kind of enjoy like early in the series her introduction. I kind of like how she addressed the class and whatnot. So got a little old as time went on, but I did appreciate like at least the teacher is interesting and not your run of the mill teacher.
You
Not
know,
what's up.
I did, I did question her outfit most of the time, and they never. Is that just something teachers wear nowadays?
No, like what is it? The little lolly of a headmaster said, "As long as it achieves results, I don't care." Because results are all I care
But I have to say, out of all the shows um, we've talked about so far, this one probably had the most interesting fight moments,
about. Hmm.
or at least it had more of them. 'Cause I can
I
remember a little more of these fights than I would say of any of the others.
I don't know that last arc of Dog Days. There wasn't too much like there wasn't a whole lot of reversals or plot twists, but just the whole animation of it was pretty nice. And some of the fight sequences in Dog Days were pretty well choreographed, in my opinion.
Hmm. I have to go with absolute duo. Will they be able to achieve it? Who knows? You guys will have to watch it. 'Cause,
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily like the whole like lore of this thing. So we're trying to attain the status that we can't exactly like quantify. What happens when you achieve it? Do you go like Super Saiyan form and you look different? I mean, how do they quantify if you achieved it? And then like apparently you have all these factions that are attempting to achieve it in a different way, and it's like you know in the end, I kind of applauded that some guy went, okay, we're gonna do this hybrid style, and it's like, why doesn't that happen more? Why is it my teaching method is right, and we shall war our students against each other to prove who's right? I just I didn't like that angle of this show, but I wasn't really in it for serious plot, so.
there was a lot of bloodshed in this show too, huh?
Mm,
Especially during that last arc, I would say. I think. Hmm. Well, let's move on. What are we going to talk about next?
what else is there? Q has the
Well,
cards.
dun 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 dun. Well, let's talk about this show. This show, I guess, supposedly is done. I didn't get to see the ending. So, Iska.
Mm. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last episode, but you just told me it was only 10 episodes.
Yes, yes, it
So
is.
10 must have come out sometime between the last time I checked.
And
So,
now.
it looks like Iska is finally over. It was a short little series, but I have to say, it was interesting in its own way because I came from reading the manga, and the manga is way different from the anime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, oh, I got some
Two,
very,
two.
very new content. I couldn't guess what was going to happen because of how far they went away from the manga. There's no way of knowing what was going to go on, so it was kind of interesting because it wasn't like, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, this is going to happen.
I
I
wonder
wonder how
who.
they.
I wonder who like wanted to change the direction of that adaptation. Like who sat there and went, this is pretty good, but I'm gonna put my spin on it.
But going back to the whole main theme of our discussion,
Hmm.
this show was riddled with genius and bright lights.
You grabbed that from the one episode after I told you about it, didn't you?
Yes, you pretended to know the exact episode of these scenes.
No, I kind of guesstimated. I was like, well, if 10 was over, it felt like 3 episodes ago, so maybe 7. And a little quick Google, I'm like, yeah, I was spot on 7. But there was no like assured feeling about it.
Sure, you say that now.
Yeah,
So again, riddled with a lot of censorship. This
yeah.
show,
If
and like I
if
was
any
saying,
if anybody
the black
remembers the what? Oh, Black Lions. Yeah. If anyone actually remembers a show called K, I know not maybe a lot of people have watched it, but in this series called K, there was a character called Neko, and she was introduced much in a similar way as our current Catgirl protagonist here. And if you actually like look at her description on like my anime list, MAL, it'll simply say like she does not like wearing clothes, and this one I think fits the bill a little bit better than that Neko Catgirl thing.
I don't think it was the fact that this girl in this show didn't like clothing. She just didn't like underwear, dress, or maid uniform, whatever it was she had. But she just never wore the underwear to go with
Made you ever think she knew
it.
how to put it?
But kind of going with in the opposite direction of most of the series we've talked about. This one, the clothing comes off during the battles, big time. And some of the scenes during the attack were just really crazy. And that's kind of like where it went really different from the manga, because I don't remember in the manga it ever being where, as they were getting their life force sucked out, it gave them this intense pleasure or whatever it was. I don't remember that at all.
But it totally helped the anime.
Yeah.
It was necessary. I totally remember that too. That was like the first line in like the first and second episode. In exchange for their life energy, they return like immeasurable pleasure. It's like, oh, well.
But I have to say, this show did have some very down quality moments. Like some of their faces and some of the way they were drawn at certain times were really, really awkward and very strange. I'm not talking about this image I'm sharing. I'm just showing you the main three characters here. But um, I don't know if you would want to know, or if I should say how it differed from the manga. But if you check out the manga, it's a lot of like the key elements are still the same. It's just that it's like I said, the whole storytelling's way different. Like let's see here. That what was that first demon they fought? That big fox or whatever it was?
I
Wolf.
don't think it was a fox. Because I think our main character was like a fox that they mistook for it at first, and it was something else or something. And that was a
Yeah,
while ago, damn it.
yeah, that big thing. That didn't appear in the manga until a whole lot later.
Hmm.
But yeah, let's. Who cares?
Yeah. You
But
know, like I was saying, with like Absolute Duo and like Dog Days, where there was like stuff that I liked about certain characters or certain elements of the story, or just the way a character's lines were scripted. Isekai didn't really have too many of those moments for me. I did watch it for its lore and whatnot, but at the end of it, I think to me the most interesting character is still the cat girl. So
and what's her name again?
Tamako.
Shizuma, the other girl.
Oh, well, they got like the two name deal, and he went between the two of them. So, oh
Well,
wait,
whatever
you,
that blonde-haired
yeah,
girl.
she,
Um,
she shared the one name with our protagonist Itsuka. I don't remember what her other name, like aside from the shared name, was.
Isuka is her true name, I think. But I'm not spoiling anything. But let's
Oh,
see.
oh wow, they couldn't figure it out by looking at the title of the goddamn anime. I wonder if
No,
that
no,
name's important.
that means nothing. Uh, she was supposed to be like this tsundere character, right? But for some reason, I couldn't like her.
I don't
Her
think you were
attitude.
supposed to like her.
But some tsunderes, you're like, oh god, she's so cool. Or that's like a really good attribute. To her, it was terrible. Oh my god, she annoyed the hell out of me
I
every
don't
time.
actually usually go for the tsundere type. The only tsundere I ever really liked came out of the Grisaya, where the one character who was trying to force herself to be tsundere. It's the
Oh,
only time I liked it.
you didn't like Bakemonogatari?
I don't care for Senjo Gahara, not really.
Oh. Well, you know how some of them have their moments though.
Hmm.
Her, oh, she annoyed the hell out of me like crazy. And the only thing that really upset me about the show too, there's like the ending.
That you
And
haven't watched yet.
not the ending, but the ending
Oh, the closing song credit roll thing.
closing credit, right? Because like if you look at how it's drawn so different from the series. It's just so far different that it drove me crazy.
It's because another studio stepped in, probably. Who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, just because of how different it was, it kind of was like, what? This is so weird, and I just couldn't like it.
Hmm.
But you can see here by this little cut or snippet that I got how different she looks from what we were just looking at before.
Yeah, I think I see some of that dark light there too.
Yeah, the dark light, the black light, we call it.
No, black light makes things glow. We've been over this.
Okay, sorry. So we got dark light censorship. We got white light censorship, and then we got just for the season little emotes censorship. So this season we got a lot of different censorship going on. Oops, why do I keep on drawing? Uh, what was the other show I was going to show you? I will wait on those because I kind of want to save some of those bigger titles for the whole group when we can meet. Unfortunately, everyone was busy once again. But just a really quick call out. I'm going to be at SakuraCon next weekend. So if you guys are there, just give me a call out and I'll come say hi. Get to see the tank in real life in person and be disappointed. SecurCon's going to be fun. Um, we're going to try to hold out the next hangout in a time. I'll try to get with everyone else and see. But kind of going with the whole theme of this season, if you can see our two cute girls going with the whole Yurikuma theme. We got the lilies at the bottom, and them all dressed up, Gao Gao. So look forward to that. That season hasn't ended, right?
Huh? Uh, has that ended? I know episode 12's out, but is it paced for 12?
Yeah, so get ready. We have for some titles for next week. We'll be talking. Oh, did you want to talk about? Sorry, Cross Ange?
I can, but I didn't know if anyone else would have anything to say about it next week, because I could give a very quick rundown of it, and then if we bring it up again, we bring it up again.
Yeah, just go ahead and give your spiel, because I don't know if anyone else has been watching it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. Cross Ange. Oh, okay, so it had almost Macross-like robots. They could go between this, like, plain kind of looking mode and full-on robot, and that's usually, like, a seller for me on a show. Like, as long as they pull that off well, it's a great show. Cross Ange, to me, is a kind of an exception to this default. I don't know. Oh, Cross Ange wasn't necessarily bad. It just wasn't. It was really long for what it actually kind of concluded. I liked the way where it was going. I think there might be one more episode out on it, maybe, because like from what I remember in the last one, yeah, stuff was going down. So actually, we might have one more episode coming out for it. But I just wanted to say, I think they spent a little too much on polishing up like the mech CG designs, because the combat, in my opinion, wasn't really that great, and it really took away from a lot of the like the 2D animation. A lot of the scenes felt very bland, and like they didn't capture character moments too well, and the script wasn't exactly smooth with it either. You can kind of tell what they were going for at every, you know, with every line. It's, oh, we're in this mode now. We got to let the character, you know, bash the male character because of one of those anime incident misunderstanding things. But it almost like you can almost like feel the gear being shifted when it was ready to move on and tell another aspect of its story. So, you know, well, overall it wasn't all that bad. I do enjoy watching it. I kind of like where the story was going, and I like a lot of its premises, but I just think, like, the budget was not managed too well on it, personally. Still love the first closing.
Would you say it's worth it? Because, like, I'm on vacation, so I got a lot of time to watch anime. So I'm trying to see what shows I should go back and watch. Would this be one of them, or no?
I don't know if I really know your taste too well, but I don't. How'd you like Buddy Complex?
Fun to make fun of.
Yeah, there's not too much you're gonna try to actually make fun of in Cross Ange, so I just don't see it being like fun to make fun of. But
do they connect with each other? Just kidding.
Only once. Only once.
Wasn't this just show people were making comments about rape?
Yes. It in my opinion, it really sets up a freezing-like system. If you remember how like militaristically set up freezing was, like with how like seniority kind of rules over the newer recruits. Cross Ange tried to do the same, and got a little S&M with it too. Not to any extreme by any means, but enough for people to say, stuff's going down in this scene, dude.
I see. Well, let's see here. I guess that's it. Unless you have another title you want to talk about.
I don't know. Is there another episode to talk about? Does that Fafnir count?
Hafnir? You mean the Unlimited?
No, the other like differently spelled Fafnir. When I first started watching that, I thought it was like some kind of a spin-off of the old robot series. I was like,
So
how'd they go
you're
from
not
that to
talking about that
this?
one, right?
Huh? Yeah, not the no, I am talking about Unlimited, not the what is it? Dead Exodus or something.
Yeah, so this one here, let me get you something to look at. Fafnir with this characters, right? Da-da-da. With the
Yeah, like
what grade were they? Like middle school or something? Or were they high schoolers?
I don't really know, like, because they had the whole special school thing where everyone was just kind of shipped off to, and like
Yeah.
varying ages kind of showed up because you had that one tier character who I think she got like
Special.
super schooled by the other like we'll get you up to our speed. I don't know, but Fafnir doesn't have too many of the Aichi moments. There's really only one I can honestly think of, and it was of course in the obligatory Hot Springs episode. But it's your another. I don't know what their angle was with this one. Like
Harem.
harem, yes, but I
Forbidden Emoto love.
which may not be so forbidden. You can't really tell because our main character has lost his memories and he doesn't know what's what anymore. But yeah, I think the end cards might be a little more illustrious in the series,
Yeah.
but they would kind of
Dude,
do that like the silhouette transformation thing, and sometimes they would get a little.
I would have to say that the ending of the not the ending, but that one character that turned out to be, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen it.
I
That was
think
so
the
obvious.
yeah, I know it was.
Oh my god. I was like, yeah, surprise. But
Yeah, I saw that one coming a while away, and that's just why I was like, I didn't know where they were going with this one because it almost seems like they were targeting like a younger teen kind of audience, and I don't know. I think that's what you have to be to like get a lot of enjoyment out of this show. Be like new to anime, being like you're not wanting anything too serious or makes a whole hell lot of sense, and you can go watch this.
I would say I did kind of like this character here. Just the way she played out her jealousy and, oh, I want to be pampered. It was just kind of cute, I thought too. But I kind of wanted to know more about what was going on with that one guy and his abilities. I thought that was kind of cool.
I didn't. I didn't. That's all I'm gonna say is I didn't. But
I want all of his memories to be gone.
but then he'll be like your clueless character. He'll morph into an Ichika.
That's
He'll
what
be
all
so
Aaron
deprived of
said.
memories that he just can't take a hint because he has no experience to go off of.
Here's Tier-chan. Tier. What's
Oh
his
my
face?
God, yeah, and like I was just kind of saying, that's what it kind of ticked me off about this whole series more than anything. By the end of it, there wasn't really like an element that I was overall happy with. It's like, oh, there's this character that I really enjoyed, or there's this moment in the story that I thought was really elaborate, or whatever. But there's actually a character who drew a lot of my hate for whatever reason, and that would be like the headmaster of this school. The little the lolly headmaster who like has a thing for setting up like a chick harem. So she's like trying to talk with the only male student in the whole school about like who he wants and whatnot. I'm just
I thought that was funny. To tell you the truth.
like it
Hey, you want to
was.
go sneak some peeks at them? Me and you together. Let's go.
I mean, like I can see where they're going with the humor, but it didn't like strike me as my type of like actual funny humor. Like I wish they would have went with a different like headmaster personality role than that. But I mean, that's not to say that the series is flawed or horrible. That's just it didn't catch on well with me, and I just kind of went, "You're a character I'm just not gonna like just because."
Your guys' personalities clash too much, right?
No, no, no. Just uh, the world of Fafnir, where you're a D and you can generate dark matter and pretty much make whatever the heck you want, which they pretty much rip off like a lot of popular names for items. You got the Malnor hammer and just like all references like that, and the headmaster who gets them all together is this. I don't know if she's supposed to be an older individual who just looks young or is actually just a young headman. I don't know. uh, that actually I remembered I didn't like that at all.
I kind of actually forgot about her until you mentioned her. But
She didn't get that much
she
screen
was
time.
she was pretty funny though.
I think she had like 6 lines across all 12 episodes. Well, maybe not
I
six
think she would be a
lines,
fun person to hang out with. I'm sorry.
okay, maybe, but in an anime show, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. So cool, so cool. Well, let's see here. Be sure to join us next week. We'll be talking about some of the more popular shows. Of course, and obvious, we're going to be talking about Yuri Kuma.
Yurikuma
Yoru,
Arashi.
yeah, Yoru no Yaraman. That one was actually surprising. I liked it. Rolling Girls.
I think Yaterman has like maybe one more episode to go, so that might be just
I
in
think it just
time.
came out.
What?
Saikano.
The 12th episode of that was funny. Holy crap. Did you watch that yet?
Of course. No. But,
What?
maybe I did. Kantai Collection. Everyone's going to be excited about that. And, I don't know. I think that's it. We might talk about some other shows if we have the time. But those are going to be the main titles.
We should totally like lop Yurikuma Arashi as ecchi and just get it out of the way now. I'm totally kidding and I'm not serious, but like everyone gets together and they're like all ready to cover this thing and you're like, oh, we already talked about that. What? We did this
also have
ecchi
the
segment and like the opening and the transformation sequences that made it count, so we got it out of the way.
well, if we're going to talk about those things, at least we should pick this one too. Saikano. That was pretty etchy.
Towards episode 12, I would admit, but before episode 11, whenever that one character was introduced, not so much. But yeah, like episodes like when the band member gets covered, then probably drops the H tag. But before that, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. So be sure to join us, all you Zero U viewers out there. And I mean, for this live, we have 0 viewers. You guys watching? Hopefully, you
That's
watch
just
it
a
before next
statement.
weekend.
Be sure to join us next time, nobody.
Yeah.
Remind me why you're not like some kind of publicity market.
No wonder this show does so good. Hopefully everyone else will be back. We got hopefully Sean, Albert, Tripley. You
Tripley,
better be here. Tripley. And bring the Nutella.
Nutella.
And Nutella. Yum.
Does he really bring like a
And
lot of that? Like I've never seen him with any.
and then also anyone else who wants to join, be sure to check us out in Anime Talk. Give me a message. I just recently found out that I've been missing some of my Hangout calls or messages. I checked my phone and I saw messages from like 2 months ago that said, "Hey, how do I join the Hangout?" I was like, "Crap! How come this never popped up?" So I'm going to be checking all those more recently. So be sure to join us, and we'll see you guys next week.